ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं। हरि ओम तत्सत्। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र महारानी की जय, श्री श्री गौरनिताय की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome back. I think we took a break last couple of weeks. Last week we had the devotee care seminar for which we had to cancel the class, unfortunately. And the week before, I think we had Nityananda Tridasi. And today we are here. I was just going through my schedule. Next week again, unfortunately, I had to cancel the class. I'm going to Brisbane for their new temple opening. So they are moving to a new facility. So there's going to be a Ratha Yatra, so I have to go for a day. I had two options. Either we can continue with Sri Rupa Siksha, the instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami. Or I thought, okay, Gaur Purnima is coming, probably we can discuss a bit on Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance and his pastimes today, just to prepare our consciousness, meditate on the Leela of the Lord. So today will be more like a standalone session. It won't be a continuation of Rupa Goswami's instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami. But this is a good meditation while we prepare ourselves, prepare our consciousness to invite Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within our hearts. So I picked one verse. It comes in Adi Leela, chapter 1, verse 4, if I'm not wrong. This verse talks about the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and also tells about the qualities of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what benefit we get by worshipping Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I'll first recite the verse, and then we'll go to the translation of that. Anarpita charim chirat karunayavatirna kalau samarpayutum unnata ujjvala rasam svabhakti shriyam hari purata sundara diti gadamba sandipita sada hridaya kandare spuratva sachinandana. This is the verse. Translation goes, may the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachidevi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father is Jagannath Mishra and his mother's name is Sachidevi, Srimati Sachidevi. That's why one of the names of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sachi Nandana. Nandana means one who is very dear. Sachi Nandana means one who is very dear to his mother Sachidevi. That's what it means. Like for Krishna, we call Krishna as Yashoda Nandan or Devaki Nandana. Devaki is also Krishna's mother, and so is Yashoda Maharani. So Krishna is called by the name Yashoda Nandan, Devaki Nandan, Nandan. So like that. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known as Sachinandana. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachidevi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of our heart. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivista. I reside in the heart. Hridi means Hridaya, means heart. Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivista. Krishna is not just living in the heart of humans. Sarvasya means he is living in the heart of cows also, ants, animals, reptiles, birds, plants. Plants also have a heart. Krishna resides in the heart of them. So Krishna is in the heart of everyone. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also Lord Sri Krishna. So here he is bestowing. Whoever reads this verse, whoever reads and hears about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, may they also be blessed. Blessed with what? The appearance of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu within the innermost chambers of our heart. We all have good qualities and bad qualities within us. Good qualities we always try to feed more. Bad qualities we struggle with. How many of you have this problem? All of us do. Others who didn't put the hand up, you are lying. Everyone has the problem. But when we welcome the Lord to come and reside in the innermost chambers of our heart, means that when Lord comes in, at that time even bad qualities, if they want to stay, they can't. They'll just helplessly run away. So it's given when Krishna's holy name is chanted. Whenever Krishna's holy name is chanted and heard, all our sins flee away in fear. Like how? Just like how the animals in the forest, they flee away in fear at the sound of the roar of a lion. Simmadrashter Mrigairiva. This is a verse in the Puranas. Just like that, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enters and resides within the innermost chambers of our heart, whatever bad qualities we have, we struggle with. Arjuna asks this famous question to Krishna. Oh Krishna, by what is one impelled to act sinfully, as if by force, even though they don't desire to behave in a certain way? And in answer to that question, Krishna says, the reason why we act sinfully, even without any desire, as if somebody is pushing us to act sinfully, is, Krishna says, the reason for that behavior is lust. Lust in Vedic sense, it's used in a more general context. Normally, in modern sense, when we say lust, it's considered as an emotion or an attraction between members of two opposite sex or same sex. Whereas in Vedic sense, the word kama, lust, is used in a more generic sense. You can have kama for food. You can have kama for a beautiful bird, a beautiful scenery. Any kind of desire is used. This word is used to describe that. So Krishna says, as soon as we are born in this material world, by nature, we are all influenced by lust. You look at birds, you'll see them kissing each other. You look at animals, they're always together, looking for mating with each other in their mating season, breeding season, you will see. So you'll come across this behavior not limited only for humans. It is true for every living being, including even plants. They have their own season for pollination. So Krishna says, as soon as you are born in this world, you are influenced by these qualities of lust. And it is because of that, one is forced to act helplessly. But we can't give that as an excuse. While Krishna gives the reason why people behave or people feel in a certain way, Krishna also gives the solution how to come out of that. Now, if you can't
Follow the discipline which Krishna is asking us to do in Bhagavad Gita. The same Krishna came down as Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he says, simply chant this Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This verse comes from Kali Santarana Upanishad. After saying this verse, Lord Brahma, he is the one who speaks about this verse to Narada. After this verse, there is a following verse that says, Iti Shotashaka Nam Kali Kalma Shunashanam Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Shotashaka, 16 word. This 16 word mantra, if you count, there are 4 words in every line. 4 times 4 is 16. Iti Shotashaka Nam. This mantra that has the 16 words, if one chants, one can get liberated, especially in this day and age of Kali Yuga. In fact, Lord Brahma says, I have analyzed all the verses in the whole body of the Vedic knowledge. Lord Brahma has 4 heads. There are 4 Vedas. He knows by heart all the Vedas, and he would recite 1 Veda each through each one of his mouth. Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. Krishna says, or rather, Lord Brahma says, Iti Shodashaka Namnam Kali Kalma Shunashanam. In comparison to this verse, which is capable of Kali Kalma Shunashanam, which is capable of destroying all the sins of this Kali. Nata Paratroyapaha. In comparison to this, I haven't come across any other mantra, Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. In comparison to this mantra, I haven't come across any other mantra in the entire body of Vedic knowledge of all the 4 Vedas as powerful as this mantra. That's why we call it as Maha Mantra. Man means mind, Tra means that which delivers the mind. So normally mind has a tendency to fall down. But by chanting the mantra, we can levitate, we can pull the mind out of this quagmire of material existence and slowly liberate ourselves, extricate ourselves from being bodily conscious to becoming Krishna conscious. That's the idea. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came to give us this mantra. He came to propagate this mantra, getting masses of people to take shelter of this mantra. That's how powerful this mantra is. Normally, chanting mantras, one is supposed to be qualified. One can chant certain mantras only at certain times of the day, like Gayatri mantra. We chant at 3 Sandhya, morning, afternoon, evening. Morning 6 o'clock considered to be the Sandhya or the junction of nighttime and morning. Likewise, afternoon, 12 o'clock, noon, considered to be the junction of morning and afternoon. Evening 6 o'clock, considered to be the junction of late afternoon and nighttime again. Does it make sense? So Gayatri mantra is supposed to be chanted only 3 times at the junction. 6, 12, 6. You are supposed to be in a clean state. You should be clean, taken bath. You should face a certain direction. And you are supposed to chant that mantra not in an audible way. Only mentally you are allowed to chant. Some mantras are like that. Many mantras, they come with restriction, certain restriction. You can chant certain mantras only in a certain place. Only during certain season. Only when you are desiring something you are supposed to chant. If you read Mahabharata, Kunti Maharani, she gets the boon to invoke presence of any demigod at any time. And she was just a small girl when she heard. Small girl means teenager. Out of a curiosity, she just recites the mantra that attracts the presence of Suryadev. She just chants and then she looks up, Suryadev is there already. So certain mantras are specifically targeted to get certain outcome. But no mantra is as powerful and as liberal as this mantra. For this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Namna Makari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smarane Nakala. Rule number 1 for chanting this mantra is there is no rule. Na kala, na niyama. Niyama means rule. Yama, niyama. Do's and don'ts. There is no rule and regulation for this mantra. Na kala. There is no specific time to chant this mantra either. In other words, you can chant it anytime during the day, anytime during the year. You can lie down sleeping, half sleep, or wake up, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. You can sleep. That's how powerful it is. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came specifically to give this gift of Harinam Sankirtana, of the treasure of the holy name of the Lord, to all of us, especially those who are born in this most fortunate age of Kali Yuga. How many of you think Kali Yuga is better than Satya Yuga? How many of you think Kali Yuga is very bad? How many of you agree to both? Yes, in Satya Yuga it's given, people are very, very cultured. They are known as Hamsas. They don't even know how to commit sin. But as the age progressed, the qualities, good qualities started to dwindle. So whatever good qualities that were there in Satya Yuga, we have barely 1/4 of it now, occasionally. However, as degraded this age is, to the same extent, the fortune of people who are born in this age is enormous compared to those who are born in previous ages. Why? Just like when, let's say if the examination paper is question paper is very tough. So tough that everyone would fail. So normally in that situation, instruction would be given to those who mark the papers to be a little liberal when you mark it, right? Because the question paper is too tough. Whole point about having an exam is to have people who are qualified to pass that exam so they can actually progress to the next stage. Could be job, or could be degree, could be anything. But if there is an exam wherein everyone fails, then no degree, it defeats the whole purpose. So as much as this age is difficult, to the same extent, the mercy that flows in this day and age, to the same extent, the fortune that it brings to us in this day and age is enormous compared to even that which was available in previous ages. So Krishna, he is appearing himself as this mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Simply by chanting this mantra, one can liberate oneself. In Satya Yuga, in order to gain the same perfection, Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnum, one is supposed to sit and meditate, not for 1 year or 2 years, thousands of years. Valmiki, the great author of Ramayana, one of the 2 great epics, Itihasas, he did penance for 60,000 years. Because the lifespan of people in Satya Yuga was 100,000 years. 60% of his life he spent only for meditation. Then he attained his qualification to be able to write Ramayana, to be able to see Lord Ram, to be able to see even pastimes of Lord Ram prior to Lord Ram's appearance. Tritayat Yajato Makai, in Treta Yuga, which is the age after Satya Yuga, one can attain perfection by doing fire sacrifice. You might have come across in some movies, stories. They have this big Yagya Kunda, they'll offer ghee, they'll do Ashwamedha sacrifice, sacrificial horse. The Brahmanas were so qualified that when they offer something to, let's say, Indra will come in person. If they offer something to Brahma himself would come in person to accept the offering. Likewise for Shiva himself would personally come to accept the offering. That's how qualified they were. This is in Treta Yuga, when ghee was uncontaminated and not processed. And Brahmanas were so pure that they were able to recite, invoke the presence of the Lord with their sincere, disciplined lifestyle and qualities. Dwapare Paricharyayam. In Dwapara Yuga, one attained the same perfection by doing deity worship, visiting different places of pilgrimage, different holy places in India and in rest of the world. They go to different places. When you go to a holy place, the etiquette is, first you take bath in the holy river. Every holy place would have a holy river. So you take bath. After that, you then go and inquire from people who are spiritual there. You go associate with sadhus, people who reside there or people who have come there but who are known for their spiritual practice. That's what you do in Dwapara Yuga, which is not possible for us to do it all the time. In Kali Yuga, Kalautad Hari Kirtanad, in Kali Yuga, you cannot sit and meditate. Valmiki did for 60,000 years. We must be lucky if we live for 60 years. Likewise, we can't do yajna. Qualified people are not there. Qualified ingredients is also not there. It's a very expensive affair to do a homa as per Vedic standard. Likewise, we can't quit the job or quit family. I'm going to different places of pilgrimage. Not possible. So in Kali Yuga, there is only one dharma that is possible, which is Kalautad Hari Kirtan. Wherever we are, you can be in your home. You can come to temple. You can be in bus, you can go for a walk in the park. You can still chant mantra. This mantra, it's very easy to remember. It has only 3 words. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he specifically came to introduce this mantra. It is there in Vedic scriptures, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Yuga avatar, he comes to propagate this culture of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya. To that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanandau Sahoditau Gaudodaya Pushpavandau Chitrav Samdau Tamonudau. It's given. I offer my respects to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Vande Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanandau Saha Uditau. I worship Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu, who appeared as sun and moon simultaneously on the holy land of Gaudadesh. And they have come to dispel the darkness of this age of Kali. This mantra is easy to chant, but we may not have the inspiration to do. When Arjuna, he tells to Krishna, "Oh Krishna, I'm pitted in this war wherein I have to fight against my own family men. I'm not interested. I'm not going to fight." Arjuna puts his famous bow called Gandiva down. And he tells to Krishna, "Krishna, I can't fight." And then Krishna gives him the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita for another 18 chapters. And in the 18th chapter, Arjuna, after having heard Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, directly from the lotus lips of Krishna in its entirety, Arjuna then tells to Krishna that my illusion is gone. He picks up the bow and he says, "I'm ready to fight." Arjuna putting the bow down and Arjuna picking up the bow later, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, signifies something important that happens in the life of every devotee of Krishna, which is all of us. What is it? That bow represents the determination to practice bhakti, determination to stay on this path of bhakti yoga. Because when we come to temple, when we are here, we feel like, yep, I want to be a devotee. As soon as we step out of the temple, we feel different. How many of you have that experience? I too had the experience before joining the temple. Happens. Because you go out slowly as you walk away from temple, your normal life would actually start to dawn in. Who am I? Do I need to really go back? Happens. And then when you come into the temple, you knock on the door a little bit and you come into the temple room. You feel like you are stepping into a different world altogether. And you don't want to leave. That's how I joined the temple. I didn't want to leave. I could clearly see after some time the difference. So it happens. But it is possible for us to carry this same vibe wherever we go. How to do? Simply by chanting this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But in order to do that, we need to have a certain determination. That determination is represented by Arjuna picking up that bow. How did Arjuna, who didn't have any determination to fight, who has just dropped his bow, picked up his bow at the end of 18th chapter? How do we know that Arjuna picked up his bow? It's there in Bhagavad Gita itself. The final verse, very first verse, is spoken by Dhritarashtra. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveda Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimma Kurvata Sanjaya. That's the only verse spoken by Dhritarashtra. The concluding verse of Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Sanjaya. Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna Yatra Partha Dhanurdaraha. Dhanurdaraha. Dara means one who is holding, like Murli Dara. Murli is name of the flute. Murli Dara means one who is holding the flute. Giri Dara means one who is holding Giri, which is Govardhan, or Govardhan Dari, Govardhan Dara. Gada Dara means one who is holding Gada. Likewise, Dhanur Dara means one who is holding Dhanu, Dhanush. So Arjuna has so many different names, 10 names actually. Arjuna himself says to Bhuminjaya, before the war of Virata starts, there he says, Arjuna himself lists his own 10 names: Vijaya, Kiriti, Jishnu, so on and so forth. Krishna, one of Arjuna's name is also Krishna. So you come across there, here he is specifically saying Yatra Partha. Partha is also one more name of Arjuna. Yatra Partha Dhanur Daraha, which means he had already picked up. Otherwise he wouldn't have used the word Dhanur Daraha, one who is holding the bow. So to have knowledge is something, but to act on that knowledge, we need to have certain determination. How does that come? By this knowledge of the Shastras, what Krishna gives. Now that is made even more easy. How? Simply by remembering Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If we remember Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the most difficult things become very easy. Katanchana smrite yasmin dushkaram shukaram bhavet vishmrite viparitam syat Sri Chaitanyam namamitam. If we simply remember Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even the most difficult things become very easy. But if we forget him, even the most easy things will become very difficult. So how do we maintain that determination, that enthusiasm to practice bhakti? By somehow or other remembering Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what's the best way to remember Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? By following his instruction, which is to chant this mantra. Okay, so that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, may he appear within the inner chambers of the core of our heart. So this is the blessing he's giving. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in this age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. The most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, when he was born under a neem tree, because of which the ladies in that locality started to call him Nimai, meaning one who is born under a neem tree. So after he was born, his mother's father, who is Nilambar Chakravarti, he was a great astrologer. So the Namakaran and Annaprashana was done when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was 6 months old. Usually Namakaran is done. Namakaran means naming ceremony, name giving ceremony. It's usually done within like a month. But in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case, it happened after 6 months. So Nilambar Chakravarti names him after studying his astrological chart, based on his time of appearance, based on the influence of the stars and the constellations. Nilambar Chakravarti calls him Vishwambara. Vishwambara means one who is supporting, one who is carrying the whole world. And an unofficial name came to be Nimai, because he was born under a neem tree. That's like the pet name, household name. Whereas a more formal name was Vishwambara. At that time, in Vedic times they do, sometimes in our temple also, when little kids come for Annaprashna ceremony, the first grain eating ceremony, free feeding ceremony. At that time, it's Normally, the tradition is they would place some articles because by then, in 6 months' time, the child would be in a crawling phase just to understand about the inclination of the child. So, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case, also, they have placed some articles. They placed varieties of books on one side, they placed some pen along with that, some coins. In some traditions, you see, Kshatriya tradition, they would even keep more articles. They'll keep a small toy, sword, bow. In Vaishya communities, they'll keep some grains also, you will see, and some soil also, just to understand about the inclination of the child. So if the child crawls, goes towards the books, Bhagavatam, then they know, okay, the child is going to become a great devotee. If the child crawls towards the coins, then you know the child is going to become either rich or money-minded. If the child goes towards the toy weapons, then they say, yes, the child is going to be a very good Kshatriya. Likewise, for grains, they say, going to be a very good Vaishya. So in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case, they placed a lot, varieties of books, including Srimad Bhagavatam, pen, some coins, and they let him to crawl. Guess where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went? To Srimad Bhagavatam. So he crawled towards Srimad Bhagavatam, picked up Bhagavatam, hugged it, and he looked at all of them and he smiled. So everyone became very happy that this boy is going to become a great devotee of himself. Great devotee of Krishna, that's what they thought. When baby Nimai, normally if you see, there'll be a certain point, like Krishna, he didn't give the instruction of Bhagavad Gita out, open in the public until Kurukshetra war, correct? Which is like almost after 100 years of his appearance. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't waste that much time. Even when he was a baby, he would always cry. So then the ladies in those locality, they would come and they would try to console the baby. But the baby would sometimes cry uncontrollably. Without knowing what to do, they would chant, Krishna, Krishna, why it's happening? Then the moment when they say Krishna, Krishna, at that time the baby would keep quiet. As soon as they stop, again it would start to cry. Then they figured out, this baby is crying whenever we stop chanting Krishna's name. So let us keep on chanting Krishna, Krishna. That's how they did their rounds. Okay, 2 hours, my 16th rounds is finished. Then next lady would come, pass the baby there, and they would go look at the house. Likewise, 24/7, they were chanting Krishna's name. So even without mincing any word, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already inaugurated his mission, which is to make people do Kirtaniya Sadahari, to chant the holy name of Krishna. Okay. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started the mission. One day when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a very small boy, he came out to the courtyard playing. At that time, 2 thieves came. And they saw this little boy wearing all beautiful golden ornaments. So they made a plan. If we steal his jewelry now, this baby may cry. And if the baby cries, it will alert his parents and the neighbors and we will get caught. So they thought, let us just pick up this baby, run to a more isolated place and then take away all his jewelry. Leave the baby there and run away. This is what their plan was. So they came to baby Nimai. Nimai was playing. At that time, they told baby Nimai, would you like some sandesh? Sandesh is a sweet. We offer it to Radha Gopinath also. Then baby Nimai looked at them and they said, like, yeah, I love sandesh. Then they say, if you come with me, we'll give you nice sweets. Then baby Nimai is like, yeah, take me. So they picked them, put them on their shoulder and they started running. They are running, hoping that we will come to our hideout place. There we can steal all the jewelry. They came running in full speed. And then finally, when they were tired, they thought, okay, I think we have run far away enough. Now it's a good time to put the baby down and take all the jewels. They put the baby down. Much to their surprise, they found they have arrived at the exact same courtyard. Baby Nimai had tricked them. Meanwhile, his parents were looking for him. And when they heard about the crying of Sachimata. Immediately they dropped the baby and they ran away, and they went and profusely thanked their worshipable Devata, Kali. Oh Chandi, thank you very much for saving. Actually, today we were so close to actually getting caught red-handed. It's only because of your mercy that we somehow escaped, leaving the baby and running away. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went for one free ride on the shoulders of the thieves to entire Navadvip Dham, and then came back again, tricking them to come back to the same spot from where they picked him. Once, one Brahmana, so as I said, in those days, especially those who are Brahmanical, who are very spiritually inclined, who are devotees of the Lord, they would go to different places of pilgrimage. Navadvip, which is Mayapur, is also one of the most holiest, most merciful Dham. Audarya Dham. Audarya means very merciful. Some holy places, they are called Aishwarya Dham. Like Dwaraka is Aishwarya. Whereas if you take Mayapur, Mayapur is Audarya. Audarya means very merciful. Mercy would be there, up in the air. I once went for Navadvip Mandal Parikrama. So they take us to different islands. I think it's going to start in next couple of days. They do it for 7 days, just before Gaura Purnima. So in Mayapur they go to different islands. Thousands of devotees from different parts of the world, they come. You go, get an opportunity to stay in each one of the 9 islands. And when you are there, they would then narrate about the pastimes, and during the whole day as you walk, or even morning when you walk, you'd always be singing. It's a beautiful experience. Anyone been to Mayapur? Been? Okay, good. Anyone attended any of the parikrama? If you get a chance, please do, at least once in a lifetime. I got an opportunity to go in 2015. And I met some devotees coming from other parts of the world. One devotee told me, this is my 25th year. I'm like, what? This is my 25th year on parikrama. He has been coming for 25 parikramas until that point. So some devotees do year after year after year. But if we get chance to go, we will get a glimpse of what Gaura Purnima is like, of what the feel of being in Dham is like. So it is very important that we take shelter of the holy places. So here, in this instance, there was this Brahmana who goes to different places. So one day, after going to different places, he came to this particular holy place of Navadvip Dham. And there in Navadvip Dham, he was telling, heard about Jagannath Mishra here. Then Jagannath Mishra comes and meets him. Jagannath Mishra takes him to his home and he tells him, you please feel at home here. This is our great fortune that you have come to our ashram. Please feel at home. Feel free to make use of our kitchen to cook bhoga for your deities. This Brahmana, he always carries one small Gopal deity. So he placed Gopal deity on the altar of Jagannath Mishra, and being welcomed by Jagannath Mishra with such a hospitality, he complied, and then he started to cook bhoga offering for his Lord in his kitchen. And as he was making preparation, he was singing songs about Lord Gopal, which is Krishna. After making a beautiful plate of preparations, he then brings it to his altar. This Brahmana has taken a vow that he would take the Mahaprasad of Lord Gopal only every day. That is his only meal. He would cook, offer it to Gopal, and then he would take. If no offering is made to Gopal, he would go hungry. So if Gopal wants to eat, Gopal has to take him. So in this case, Gopal had brought him to Jagannath Mishra's home. He cooks, offers, closes his eyes, offers, oh Gopal, please accept my humble offering. I know my offering is not very opulent, but please be satisfied with this. Please accept it. As he was finishing his prayers, much to his surprise, he could hear somebody actually eating, putting the food in the mouth and chewing. And he was very ecstatic. Wow, my Gopal is, today he accepted my prayers and he is appeared right here and he is eating. And he opens his eyes, baby Nimai was sitting and eating. Now this Brahmana almost had a heart attack. Oh my God, because nobody knew who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. And then he starts to cry. Oh, my offering for Gopal is spoiled. I spent 2 hours cooking and offering him. Now Gopal will starve. Because of that, I will also starve. Jagannath Mishra is heartbroken. Atiti Devo Bhava. Titi means a certain time, certain schedule. Atiti means uninvited guest, not an ordinary guest, not somebody who sends you text, WhatsApp message one day before, I'm coming for lunch tomorrow. Then that person is not known as Atiti. He is known as maybe Titi, you know. Atiti means uninvited guest. Atiti Devo Bhava means an uninvited guest is supposed to be treated like a demigod. That's what it means. So here for Jagannath Mishra, this Brahmana came as an Aditi. He didn't tell him before, I'm coming. It was just random. He meets him and he welcomes him, invites him to his home, and he just comes. So now Jagannath Mishra, as a dutiful Brahmana, he wanted to make sure that this Brahmana is properly fed, properly rested, properly taken care in a comfortable, most comfortable way. But now his whole offering, and because of that his food was also spoiled. So now Jagannath Mishra begs him, please, it's my mistake that I have left my son unattended. He is after all a small boy, so please go and make your offering again. We can't let you go with an empty stomach. So then Brahmana complies. Brahmana goes to make the preparations again. Jagannath Mishra chastises Nimai, baby Nimai. What did you do? Look at this. Because of that, he is going to starve. Then he tells everyone, please catch hold of Nimai. Don't let him loose. Next time when the Brahmana makes the effort to cook and come and offer, we don't want his offering to go spoil. Again the Brahmana spends 2 hours, comes, makes the offering. By now it is already 9 o'clock at night. So then again he closes his eyes, makes the offering, and he says, oh Gopal, I'm really sorry for the delay in the offering. Please accept this humble offering. Please bless me with costless devotional service at your lotus feet. Again, much to his surprise, he could hear somebody chewing and eating. Opens his eyes. Lo behold, baby Nimai is sitting and happily eating again. Again the Brahmana gets heartbroken. And he says, will of the providence is all powerful. Today it's not in my fate that I should have my meal today. Maybe this is also the desire of Gopal. Now Jagannath Mishra gets really upset with the Nimai. He catches him and he says, because of you, you spoiled everything. We are now doomed. Because he has come to our door, he is a Brahmana. He is not just an uninvited guest, he is a Brahmana in that. So if he goes, we will take all the sins. What have you done? And then again he falls at the feet of the Brahmana. Please accept. He says, it's already 9 o'clock. I started cooking lunch. Still I haven't actually taken anything. At that time, Jagannath Mishra's first son just walks in. His name is Vishwarup. When Vishwarup walks in, because the whole day he would just spend the time with Advaitacharya, sitting and discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. With the Sadhu Sangha, he would just sit and discuss. At night at 9 o'clock, he comes back home and then he learns about what had transpired since the arrival of the Brahmana. And then he goes to the Brahmana and he says, oh my dear Brahmana, as you can see, my parents, they are really heartbroken. Can you please comply one more time and we will make sure this time no mishap happens. The purity of his heart was so much that even Brahmana, who was at that time totally disappointed, frustrated, even he got moved by his sweet words and he says, sure, if that's your desire, so be it. I'll try one more time. So immediately he goes, cooks again. This time Jagannath Mishra doesn't want to take any chances. He tells the people, first to take Nimai to a room. 2 of you stay inside the room. 2 of you stay outside, lock the room. You know, they lock. Again he makes the preparation. Goes till like 11:30, 9 o'clock, night 11:30. From 9 o'clock, brings the offering. Again he offers, really sorry, Gopal, what should have been your lunch has become your dinner now. Please accept this humble offering. And then, much to his surprise, for the third time, before he could open his eyes, he could hear somebody sitting and chewing. Opens his eyes. Who does he see? Nimai again. As he is eating, and he starts to curse himself. Alas, now it has happened for the third time. This is an aparad against Gopal. At the time, baby Nimai, while he was eating, he says, stop. Then this Brahmana keeps quiet. He says, every time I go playing that side, you are the one who keeps calling, oh Gopal, please come and accept my offering. Please come and accept the offering. Now, because you call, I come and accept your offering directly. And now you curse me all the time. This is happening for the third time. I can't handle it anymore. And then baby Nimai, right in front of him, he changes his form and he could see Gokul Krishna. He could see his complexion changing from molten gold to blue, with the flute in his hand, peacock feather in his head, and a curly hair, and looking at him charmingly. That is when the Brahmana realizes about the divinity of this beautiful child of Nimai, called Nimai, and then he falls at his feet, offering beautiful prayers. He picks up the rice and then he smears on his body. This is Mahaprasad. And now, again in ecstasy, he cries out. Jagannath Mishra, fearing the worst, comes back again. What happened? Nimai, what did you do? Meanwhile, Nimai had changed to his original form. And then he looks at Jagannath Mishra and then he says, you are blessed. And then he looks at Sachimata saying, you are blessed. I am also blessed. He picks up the rice, again he smears on his body. He rolls on the ground. But before he cried out loud, when baby Krishna turned back again to Nimai Pandit, or baby Nimai tells him, I give you two choices. Either you can hang around here in this locality and witness my pastimes, or you can leave now straight away from Navadvip. What you are not allowed to do is speak about what had transpired between us in public. I don't want people to know about my divinity. To which the Brahmana complied. So Brahmana couldn't openly tell that your son is baby Krishna. But he was very pleased. Jagannath Mishra was also very happy that, even though it looked otherwise, looks like the Brahmana is very happy with the outcome. So he felt very happy as well. So this is one sweet pastime that's given about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One day, baby Nimai goes to the street and then he sees one little puppy playing. So he picks up the puppy without any mother. The puppy was just playing, running around, a very cute little puppy. Baby dog, he picks up, brings the puppy to his home. Normally, in Vedic times, they won't let animals come inside. Cows are an exception. Other than cows, usually they don't allow any other animal to come in, because they are generally considered impure. Like if you take even cats, even if after taking bath, they lick their body, which means they are muchi, technically. Like if your hands touch your mouth, you would go and wash your hands, right? Because you would consider it impure. But cats, you can't blame the cats, that's the nature. Cats, by their nature, they would just lick their body, which means they'll always be in muchi condition. If you touch them, then it's like touching somebody else's saliva, basically. That's the thing. So that's why in Vedic times, animals are usually not allowed, and only exception is the cow. Because scriptures say cows are holy. Cow urine is holy, cow dung is holy, everything about cow is holy, pure. So Krishna's instructions is also like that, so we follow. So when baby Nimai brings the puppy, Sachimata stops him at the door. No, you cannot bring. So then baby Nimai was still insisting, no, I picked up this puppy, I want to play with this puppy, I love this puppy. Then Sachimata says, no, you cannot do it. So then Sachimata says, okay, you leave the puppy here, you go and play. So then baby Nimai placed the puppy there. He ran outside again to play with his friends. Meanwhile, Sachimata had let loose this baby puppy so that the puppy can go and be with the mother mother dog because the dog would be searching for it. So Sachimata let loose this puppy. Puppy runs. Meanwhile, Nimai Pandit also, baby Nimai, he finishes playing, he comes to the home and he frantically searches for puppy. Nowhere to be found. So then Sachimata says, well, after you had left, the mother dog came searching for the puppy, found it, and the puppy went to the mother dog. Then baby Nimai says, okay, no problem. If you read this story, it's there in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Till this point, the narration is there, then the narration shifts to the marketplace, where this puppy is gone. This is the climax of the story. So puppy goes in the marketplace, people are there around. Suddenly the puppy starts to stand on two legs, raising its arms, and starts to chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And then starts to jump up and down. Can you imagine? Like Hari Bol, little puppy is doing that. Goes and then everyone gets stunned. What is happening? Right in front of their eyes, the puppy leaves the body, assumes the four-handed form. The plane from Vaikuntha comes. The puppy's original Swarupa gets in and goes back to the spiritual world. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's touch was enough to invoke or to evoke the love of the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaya Uday. This love for Krishna, this bhakti we have for Krishna is inherent with us. Inherent means it doesn't need to come from outside. It's all within us. Prabhupada gives this example of a little baby. As soon as a baby is born, the capacity to walk, it's already there in the body of the baby. It is just a matter of time before that walking capacity becomes manifest. Does that make sense? Baby is having all of that, just like how fire is there present in wood. But you need some external agency to bring out that fire. Same way, when a new baby is born, the capacity to walk is there, but in due course of time only that capacity would get manifested and the baby would indeed start to walk at some time. Same way, our soul has, just like how baby is born with the capacity to walk, our soul has the capacity to love Krishna. It has a very, very deep, strong love for Krishna. But it's not manifest yet. How can it be manifest? Shravanadi, Shuddha Chitte Karaya Uday. By hearing about Krishna, by chanting about Krishna, by reading about Krishna, by coming to temple, taking darshan of Krishna, by bowing down to Krishna, slowly this capacity to love Krishna also will be manifest. Okay, Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte. When the consciousness gets purified, Karaya Uday, then it will start to manifest. So in puppy's case, the soul is in puppy's body. But the soul is a pure devotee of the Lord. Simply by the touch of the Lord, that love started to manifest straight away. Bhakti sanjayate bhakti. Bhakti cannot come from an external agency. Impossible. Bhakti can come only from bhakti. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he writes an analogy. If you take a tree, initially you sow a seed germinates, sprouts, become a small plant, grows, and then eventually it becomes a tree. But then when the tree is there fully manifest, sometimes the leaves would fall. When does it fall? Autumn. Falls. The leaf falls, becomes foliage, it becomes the fodder it becomes the food for the same tree. Does that make sense? Its own leaves only. Falling, it becomes the food for the same tree. In other words, this tree is self-sufficient. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this as analogy to say, this is exactly how bhakti is. Bhakti doesn't need anything else out. Bhakti is self-sufficient. Just like how a tree is self-sufficient. Tree can produce its own manure. Does that make sense? So bhakti is like that. Bhakti, sanjayate bhakti means only bhakti can give rise to bhakti. Bhakti is not dependent on jnana, it is not dependent on karma. One can be the most dumbest person materially. Jadabharat story is there in Srimad Bhagavatam. One can be the most materially unsuccessful person, materially most cowardly person. Doesn't matter. There is even a verse in Padyavali. Vyadyasya charanam dhruvasya chavayo. It goes like that. He gives different, we don't have time, he gives different examples of how materially unqualified people became the greatest devotees of the Lord. Bhaktya tushtati kevalam nachagunai bhakti priyo madhava. Whenever you have inferiority complex, even as a devotee, if you have, read this verse, because this verse is about all materially unqualified people and how they became greatest devotees of the Lord. What is, the verse goes like this, what is Dhruva Maharaj's maturity? 5-year-old boy. Okay, what was his goal? To sit on the lap of his father. Is that a great goal in life? But look at, that's how it started, but look at where it ended him. He became the greatest devotee of the Lord. Why? Because along the path of wanting to sit on the lap of his father, he somehow met Narada Muni, became devotee of the Lord, worshipped Vishnu, saw Prishnigarbha, and then he went to Dhruva Lokana. Where is his maturity? Likewise, it said, what is Gajendra? After all, it's an animal. So being in an animal's body also didn't disqualify Gajendra from becoming a great devotee of the Lord. Likewise, Ugrasena. What is the chivalry of Ugrasena? Ugrasena is father of Kamsa. He was not considered as one of the greatest kings. If I ask you to list the top 3 most bravest kings you have ever come across in the scriptures, Arjuna, Lord Ram, Krishna, nobody will even think about Ugrasena. Ugra who? Nobody even knows. But Ugrasena's position, just because he was a devotee, is such that when Krishna comes in Dwaraka assembly, he would go greet him. Oh my dear king, oh my lord, please tell me how can I serve you. This is the position Bhakti had given to Ugrasena despite him lacking the skills of being a brave warrior. Like that, Vamsakko Vidurasya. Vidura was born for a Shudrani. He is a Shudra technically. But he is celebrated as one of the greatest devotees of the Lord. So much so, Krishna goes and stays over. Krishna, whenever he comes to Hastinapur, his accommodation was not Airbnb, Vidura's home. He would stay in Vidura's home. Krishna was satisfied. Kubja, her body was actually bent. But one great service she did. Kubja in the previous life was Shrupanaga, who got attracted to Lord Ram. She was born as the sister of Ravana. She went proposing to Lord Ram. Lord Ram says, sorry, I have taken Ekapatni Vrata. I cannot marry another one. Maybe you can approach Lakshman. But Lord Ram remembered, here is one soul who got attracted to me. She has come to me. And we know what transpired after that. She loses her nose, becomes disfigured, everything. But Lord Ram accepted her sincere offering. In next life, she was born as a Kubja with the bent body. Why did Lord Ram make her to be born like that? So that physically she won't be attractive, so nobody will get attracted to her. Why? Because she is already attracted to the Supreme Lord. Krishna made her to be in that crooked form until he himself appears. He straightens her body, and simply by his mere touch, she transforms into a beautiful maiden. And then Krishna accepts her also. This is how personal the Lord is. So Kubja, she was not known for her beauty until Krishna comes and meets her. Understand? But being crooked doesn't. When Krishna and Balaram walks on the street of Mathura, At that time, Kubja, she had prepared chandan, sandalwood pulp, paste, to be sent to the palace of Kamsa for his own decoration. She said, forget about Kamsa. She picked up and she offered it to Krishna and Balaram. Krishna and Balaram, they applied sandalwood paste on their body. This is her selfless offering. Because of that, Krishna put one of his foot on her, stamping her feet, and then just pulled her up. The crookedness of her body is gone. And simply by his touch, she transformed into a beautiful woman. So this verse talks, what was Kubja's beauty when she offered her love and devotion to Krishna? So none of the material qualifications matter. And in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving out bhakti to even souls who are not interested in it. Now you have to compare this with something like what Dhruva Maharaj did. Dhruva Maharaj had to give up everything, go to the forest, stop his food, stop breathing, stop drinking. He had to strain so much to get Krishna Bhakti. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us in Sydney. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. That's the difference between Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made Krishna Bhakti affable. Even Krishna can't give Bhakti. Krishna's devotees can give Bhakti. That's why Krishna had to come as his own devotee, which is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to give this Bhakti. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's role, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's position in the life of every devotee in Kali Yuga is not just important, it's indispensable, irreplaceable. We cannot practice bhakti without Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I'll leave you with those thoughts and meditation. We are going to celebrate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance on the 3rd of March. I think it's a Tuesday. So please do make time. Come pray to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bless us so we get attracted to the lotus feet of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath. Let us pray to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that may whatever challenges that come our way, material, emotional, physical, spiritual, may they all be dispelled by his divine appearance within the core of our heart. Sada hridaya kandare spuratva sachinandana. And may we grow more and more as dedicated servants of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai. Sri Sri Gaur Anitai ki jai. Samaved Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.